Hello, I want to give you my update on my book. So I have now, so far, written, typed up, everything is typed up, and it is in its very first roughest draft, so no editing has happened yet. So I've written 15,317 words. So 15,317 words I've written on my book, which I'm writing with my mom, Moving from Fear to Trust. And my due date has slightly shifted. I was intending for it to be all written, as in the first draft written, by the end of August. It's not looking like it's going to be all written by then. So I'm shifting it out till the end of September. So at the same time, I feel like if anyone's written a book or has undergone a big project, something like this anyway, it's very much like an internal process. So, for me, this book has required, it's not just a case of just, banging out the words. It's actually, I have to kind of really go into it and embody all the different stages. So in terms of understanding, like, what do I need to write? What do I want to write? So I have 44,683 words to go. So my word count is 60,000 words. So I had intended on having it written by the end of August. So now it's looking like the end of September. So I just have to break that down. And I've kind of cleared a lot of my schedule now. So it's just going to be mostly book writing. And I have, like, obviously, with the breaking of my foot, that has slowed me down on such a level, but also it has helped me just cut away a lot of the busyness that I was doing, kind of distracting myself. And yeah, that's probably always going to be there when you're doing something like a big project, especially, this is totally new territory for me. And it's also been really emotional and physically challenging, because I have to go through all of the feelings and all of the experiences that I've had with my mom, and continue to do so. So just wanted to give a very quick update, and I'll be coming back soon to hopefully report that I have a massive big chunk written. So 15,000 words is, I'm proud of what I've created so far, and I'm happy with the direction it's going in. I have the concepts and I have all of the outlines now of, like, the different sections created. So that's actually been the hardest part, is actually knowing, like, what direction it's going in, because again, it's like I'm writing it and then it's revealing itself to me. So I'm not by any means saying I can see the whole thing, but I can definitely feel a much fuller expression and understanding of what the actual whole book is about now. So so I think that I'm definitely going to, no, not I'm going to be much more definite now. I am definitely going to have the 60,000 words written by the end of September, and my book midwife mentor, Mary Helen Hensley, I'm going to be reporting to her as I go and getting it ready for September. So like the end of September, because I'm going away on a holiday in August. So I'm not going to be, well, I probably get loads of inspiration actually. Sometimes when you go away from your environment, you get like loads of ideas when you just let go of all of the stuff that you're doing in your house. And going off traveling is a great idea to just create space and keep fresh and inspired. Because the whole process is not about like rushing to get the outcome. And that's something that I'm learning all the time. It's actually about like not bypassing or trying to rush to get to the outcome, but actually really just be in the process and actually see what you're meant to see when you see it on a deep level, so that you're not like missing the signs, because the signs are always there guiding us, that whether that's coming from our internal self, like our voice inside of us that's like, look at this, read this, write this, open up this book. I've got so many different journals around the house, and it's just like, this is the next piece you need to put in, this is the next piece you need to put in. But you have to get really slow, and you've got to really cultivate trust in your own self, that it's not like it's not like someone else is telling you what to do. It's like it has to come from your own self. And then also reading your environment, reading the signs. So what's kind of popping out? And for me, sometimes words just kind of pop out. Like, as in, I'm obviously reading them, whether it's in a book or whether it's, you know, I have lots of different documents on my computer and I'm going through them, and sometimes they just pop out. It's like the words just seem to emphasize, and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm meant to write now. And I feel like my mom's presence is there, kind of just going, look at that, have a look at that now. And yeah, so it's a very mystical journey. So I'm learning all of that, and I'm also going to be sharing the kind of really amazing things that have actually happened throughout this experience and continue to happen. You know, I can't force them to happen, but they just happen when they're meant to happen. And then I'm like, whoa, oh my gosh, this is all like magically orchestrated. So just rolling with it and showing up to it and staying committed and staying focused. And yeah, I'm excited to get into the next part of the book. And yeah, because I've been writing all about like just our kind of my mom and I's journey and like the main kind of experiences that have shaped who we are. And, you know, and yeah, just kind of, you know, when you look back on your own story, it's really therapeutic because you can see that there's like, even when there's chaotic things happening in your life, that there's this divine presence that's flowing through everything. That's kind of like, oh, I was there, then this terrible thing happened, for example. Not all terrible things, but, you know, something chaotic happened to push me to another stage. And it's like just looking at it through eyes of like, yeah, that was really hard to go through, but actually that was the perfect thing to happen to actually redirect me onto the next phase of my journey and brought me to meet this person. And, you know, I got this information and I changed myself in this way, and yeah, all the things. And it's just really appreciating the journey and the process of what we experience in life. And then the whole experience of like the transition from life to death and what that means. And, you know, and really this whole book is about like dissolving the story of separation between life and death through the demonstration of my mom and I's relationship together and what's unfolding, like what even unfolded from like her having me and just all the stuff that she told me about my childhood. And now it's all kind of making sense as to why, you know, why we are on this journey together and why we're sharing it and why we're creating a book together in this way. And I never in my wildest imagination thought that it was going to be like this, but this is the way it is. And so it's accepting and surrendering to the way things unfold that don't necessarily make sense to your logical mind, but in time they kind of, the dots start to join and you start to see the bigger picture and why certain things are there exactly the way they're meant to be. So they're just my thoughts and they're my words. So 44,000 words. We'll just call it, yeah, 44,683 words I have to write. So from here until September, I can do it. I've done 15,000. That's the hardest part, actually, just getting, because that's the type of person I've tended to be up to this point, is like the starting is always the hardest point. And once I kind of get like into a semi kind of halfway through a process, I just start to gain momentum. But I think that's just the nature of it, because you're kind of like, you know, you're at a stage where you're gathering information, you're gathering your research, and you're pulling together all the ideas and concepts that you do want to write. And then it's kind of like, oh, okay, now I have all those pieces. Now I can just start to write and I can see where I'm going. And I can just, you know, start to gain that like lovely momentum. So I'm on the momentum train now, riding that momentum. And I'll be back soon with some other book updates. And yeah, see you here next time. Bye.